Hello and welcome to this new episode, Beyond Asanas, how the felt sense of safety transforms your yin yoga practice. When you come into a yin yoga pose, what truly matters is whether your body feels safe enough to soften. That safety isn't an idea you think your way into. It's a felt sense, a deep, quiet knowing in your nervous system that says, I don't have to be on guard right now. It's okay to let go. And without this felt sense of safety, no posture, no sequence, no external cues will invite the calm you are longing for. We all know what it's like to feel unsafe. The shallow breath, the tight jaw, the restless mind scanning for what could go wrong. But have you noticed what happens when your body actually does feel safe? Your breath might become softer. Your muscles loosen their grip. Your mind starts to trust that it doesn't need to control everything. That is where healing begins. Not because the body is forced to relax, but because it's given the conditions where relaxation arises on its own. In trauma-informed yin yoga, we work with those conditions intentionally. We use language that invites instead of instructs. We slow down. We give space for emotions that show up, whether that is tears, frustration, or deep stillness. And we remember that regulation isn't about staying calm all the time. It's about having the flexibility to move through different nervous system states and return to safety when ready. Why this matters in healing spaces. Too often, yoga has been presented as a way to fix yourself by getting calmer, stronger, or more flexible. But in case of unprocessed trauma or chronic stress, that approach can feel quite dismissive or even unsafe. Imagine being told to just relax when your body is flooded with stress hormones, or being encouraged to let go when your nervous system is holding on to dear life, because that's what kept you safe in the past. These common cues can bypass the reality of the body and make someone feel unseen. The felt sense of safety changes that. It meets people where they are. It honors the body's wisdom rather than pushing it towards a shape or a state it's not ready for. And in doing so, it creates the conditions where deep healing becomes possible. Let me bust the big myth here. Calm isn't the goal. One of the biggest misunderstandings I see in the wellness world is the idea that regulation means being calm all the time. But your nervous system wasn't built for that. It was built for adaptability. A regulated nervous system isn't stuck in stillness. It's fluid, it's flexible, it can move into activation when needed, and it can drop into rest when the circumstances allow. In yin yoga, when the environment communicates safety, your nervous system feels free to move through these cycles. That might look like a wave of sadness or a sudden surge of energy, various emotions arising, or finally a long exhale into stillness. Each of those are part of regulation. Each of those are healing. When we stop pathologizing these shifts and instead welcome them, the practice becomes a mirror for life itself, sometimes intense, sometimes tender, always changing. This is why safety, attunement, and trauma awareness matter more than the most creative sequence, because your body doesn't really care about the cleverness of a flow. It cares about whether it feels safe enough to unfold. The paradox is that the postures in yin yoga are not the point. They are containers. What happens inside those containers is what transforms. The felt sense of safety, the permission to choose, and the gentle unwinding of emotions that we held for too long. When you, as a practitioner or a teacher, prioritize safety before shapes, you give the body what it's truly been waiting for, the chance to trust again. This approach requires us to really shift how we measure progress. Instead of asking, how do I get deeper into this pose? We ask, did my body feel safe enough to soften, even just a little? Instead of forcing flexibility in the hips or the spine, we honor flexibility in the nervous system. Instead of chasing a posture, we notice the subtle shifts in breath, emotion, and presence. This doesn't always look glamorous on the outside. Sometimes it looks like quietly crying in a pigeon pose. Sometimes it looks like lying still in constructive rest while the others in the class move on. But this is real yoga, not the performance of shapes, but the practice of meeting yourself fully as you are, with the felt sense of safety as priority. And here's an invitation for you. If you would like to experience this for yourself, I created the Emotional and Nervous System Yin Reset, a short practice designed as a safe entry into this way of working with Yin Yoga. It's not about pushing deeper or achieving a posture. It's about discovering what unfolds when your nervous system feels supported. I will be sharing the link to the Yin Reset in the description, and I invite you to give this practice a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.